So listen, y'all. This whole situation has me absolutely screaming because the math ain't mathing. The story ain't storying, and the vibe is very much scammy boutique pop-up energy. Let's walk through this like adults. Well, like messy adults, who enjoy a little drama with their morning coffee. Because tell me why our girl super mayor, yes, we're still using the name she made up for herself because if she coined it, she can take it with her when she leaves, is now allegedly operating a whole clothing store that's only open. You ready? 3.5 hours a day. Like 3.5 hours. This ain't Macy's. This ain't Zara. This ain't even a random kiosk in a dying mall. And yes, I'm aware plenty of boutiques do goofy hours, but come on now. 5 o'clock p.m. to 8:30 p.m. That's not retail. That's a kickback with a cash register. Let me rewind though, because to understand the clownery of today, we gotta revisit the clownery of the past. If you've been around the block with Tiffany Henyard, you already know she has a long and proud history of opening things that aren't really open. Exhibit A, the infamous ice rink. Remember that? The one she named after her daughter? The one that, according to every rumor ever, was basically shut down unless Tiffany herself was throwing a party in it. Like you couldn't skate unless she blessed the ice with her presence. Folks used to joke it was less of a skating rink and more of a private event venue she occasionally allowed the public to gaze upon. And now, this new store she's opening in Georgia, honey, it's giving ice rink energy. It's giving déjà vu. It's giving, I've seen this movie, and the sequel is worse. So here's the timeline. Tiffany allegedly moved or is spending a lot of time down in Georgia, College Park, Atlanta area, which is interesting. Because that would mean she dipped out of Dalton, Illinois, where she still has mess exploding daily and said, you know what? Let me go reinvent myself as a boutique girly. Bold move. Anyway, she decides to do a soft launch for this boutique on October 25th. She goes live from inside the store, and y'all, not a soul is in there. Not one. You can literally hear the echo. She's walking around showing racks of clothes, mannequins, lights, all that. But outside, she's grilling. Yes, grilling. She's outside cooking barbecue like she's tailgating in front of a boutique she will not let anyone enter. And she never explains why nobody's allowed in. Like imagine being at a party where the host is like, enjoy the food, but don't you dare step foot in my house. Make it make sense. So naturally, people start talking, theorizing, raising eyebrows. And one theory, which honestly, I'm sorry, but it's not even that wild, is that this store is giving front. You know? Front. And that theory becomes even more delicious when you remember Kamal, her boyfriend, ex whatever they are this week, used to have a store full of the exact same looking inventory. People noticed the clothes in Tiffany's Georgia boutique look suspiciously, like the stuff Kamal used to stock in his Illinois shop. That store, by the way, never once appeared in a video with customers in it. Ever. It was always Kamal sitting on a couch in an empty store, giving sermons to his phone like it was Sunday service. So it's very much giving Kamal's Boutique Ghost Edition. Now fast forward to today, November 13th, the real grand opening. Big day, big energy, big expectations. According to Tiffany, this is the day we finally get to judge how this new business actually operates. Forget the weird soft launch with no customers and barbecue smoke billowing outside. This is the moment. And y'all, the hours. 5 o'clock p.m. to 8:30 p.m. That's it. That's the whole workday. 3 hours and 30 minutes. She really rolled out a whole storefront just to treat it like a pop-up nightclub. Like, be serious. Be so serious. You want to talk about red flags? That's not even a red flag. That is the red flag factory. That is the red flag shipping center. That is where red flags go to multiply. Now let me be clear. I'm not accusing. I'm not stating. I'm just observing like a normal, concerned, nosy citizen. But this pattern, baby, this pattern is patterning exactly like the last time Tiffany opened something. Low hours, no foot traffic, selective access. Customers who mysteriously never appear on camera. It's like déjà vu with a southern accent. And if we're being real, It just doesn't feel like a store. It feels like an event venue masquerading as a retail operation. It feels like a place where inventory just so happens to exist, but is rarely, if ever, purchased. It feels like something that opens when Tiffany wants to be seen and closes when she's bored. But oh, it gets better. Because people who live down there, and people who followed this whole saga, are already plotting to drive over there on a random weekday, mid-afternoon, like, hey, hi, is this place open? Because I promise you, if you roll up at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, that door is locked like Fort Knox. Ain't nobody inside but maybe a mannequin slumped over in defeat. This is the thing, though. She might have underestimated how easy Atlanta is for people to pull receipts in. You cannot open a storefront in that area and then run it like it's a private clubhouse. Somebody will drive up. Somebody will take photos. Somebody will go live from the parking lot like, hey y'all, guess what? Doors locked. Now, in fairness, and we gotta be fair, maybe she'll surprise us. Maybe she'll actually hire staff, print tags, process transactions, stock shelves, and run this like a legitimate business. Maybe this 3-5 hour grand opening is just a special event and not a permanent schedule. But if history tells us anything, girl, please, because Tiffany has a very consistent pattern. She launches big, posts big, talks big, and then never actually runs the thing she created. The ice rink. Couldn't skate unless Tiffany sanctioned it. Camel's store? Customers were fictional characters. Tiffany's new store? Currently looks like an Airbnb someone put clothing racks in. And now she's down in Georgia, allegedly full-time, or close enough, prepping for her grand opening party. Because that's what this feels like. A party, not a storefront. She's almost certainly somewhere right now getting her wig laid, picking out her dramatic entrance outfit and rehearsing her speech in the mirror. Meanwhile, the people of Dalton are like, ma'am, didn't you have like 47 lawsuits back here? The absolute audacity. And the kicker? She picked a city where people absolutely will report back. Atlanta folks are not shy. If this store turns out to be smoke and mirrors, it'll be on TikTok before sunrise. Let me say it plainly. Whatever Tiffany thinks she's doing, she's gonna have to actually run the store, not pretend to run it. Not open it for vibes. Run it. Because people are already watching. People are already curious. And people already know her track record. And if this turns out to be just another ice rink situation, but with handbags and dresses instead of skates, oh baby, the internet will eat. So yeah, mama's instincts, they're tingling. They're humming like a tuning fork. They've got that little vibration that says, watch this space. And history has shown that mama's instincts, especially on Tiffany's brand of chaos, tend to be, well, regrettably accurate. But hey, maybe she'll prove everyone wrong. Maybe she'll run the store like a real business. Maybe customers will flood in. Maybe the hours will expand beyond shorter than a Marvel movie. Maybe tags will have barcodes instead of vibes. We'll see. Because trust me, folks are going to check. Folks are going to pull up. Folks are going to document. And this time, it's not happening in a little Illinois suburb. This is Atlanta. Good luck, Super Mayor. You're going to need it. Listen, y'all. At this point, I feel in my soul that this so-called store of Tiffany's is not a real store. Like, not even pretending. Well, I feel it deep in my bones, okay? Because I know where that inventory came from. It's too obvious. Nobody, and I mean nobody, opens a brick-and-mortar store by buying that much random. Bulky, mismatched inventory all at once. That's not how retail works. That's not how anything works. When you open a physical store, you get curated starter pieces. You ease in. You build inventory out strategically. You don't roll up with a truck full of leftover chaos from somebody else's failed boutique and dump it onto shelves like you're running a yard sale masquerading as a lifestyle brand. This whole thing screams, I drove down here with all the junk from Camel's old store and slapped it on racks. And honestly, I feel super confident saying that. I'm not saying I know, I'm not accusing, I'm just telling you what it looks like. And what it looks like is the obvious thing. But because I'm a supportive queen, because we're trying to be nice on the day of her grand opening, I'm going to help advertise. Yes, me. Being kind, growth. So here we go. Tiffany Henyard is having her grand opening today. If you want to shop, please do, because honestly, this might be the only time in the life of this establishment that anyone actually buys anything. I'm just being real. Now, the address on her sign is questionable. It says 54,950 National Highway, College Park. Which, first of all, something about that looks off. Whoever made that sign didn't fully understand geography, but we move. We know she meant College Park. We're not going to bully her today. It's too easy. The sign also says men's and women's streetwear, the new wave, and the font. Baby, the font is giving Thai restaurant at 2 a.m., not streetwear boutique, not luxury, not even Urban Outfitters knockoff, No, it's giving a menu where everything is $7.99 and comes with rice. Under that, it says from ashes to icon, which I guarantee you, Tiffany thinks she invented. I promise you that woman believes she personally coined that phrase. She does this all the time. She'll say a well-known saying and act like she cracked some ancient code. She has the same energy as Trump when he says nobody knew this until today, every time he learned something new. Like, bro, we knew. You didn't. Don't drag us into your revelation moment. But I digress. Let me stay focused on the mission, supporting her big day. So yes, y'all, today is the grand opening. 3.5 hours. That's all you get. Show up at 5 p.m., leave by 8:30, and then that store is shutting down harder than Blockbuster in 2011. And picture this. What if all this inventory isn't even staying? What if she literally borrowed it from Kamal for this event? Like a theatrical set, and after tonight, she's boxing everything right back up and sending it north. Don't lie, that visual is hilarious. And the most concerning part is that it doesn't even sound far-fetched. It sounds like something she would absolutely do. But I always try to keep love at the center, okay? I really do. So in closing her promo, let me be sweet. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. She says she has a lot of great things in the works. And that part alone had me rolling, because whenever Tiffany says that, it usually means she came up with a half idea while stuck in traffic. But hey, she claims there's a book coming out. Sure, if she says so. Now, here's where it gets fun. Tiffany said with her whole chest that you can shop online, that you can buy her items digitally, which implies a website, a functional one, that exists, with inventory, with photos, with checkout. So I said to myself, let's go look. Let's see. Let's verify. And y'all, she does not have a website. Like none. Zero nada. There's a domain someone squatted on. Probably her, but there's nothing on it. Blank. No products. No cart, no nothing. Which means the moment she said you can shop online, she was lying before the sentence even ended. And here's why that lie is extra funny. Tiffany is not paying anyone to build a website. She's not going to pay someone to photograph all those items, tag them, upload them one by one, build a store catalog, maintain it, process orders, none of that. She's not even doing it herself. There is not a universe in which she sits at a laptop and manually enters SKS. So we can confidently say, online shopping ain't happening, ever. And to me, this whole thing smells like a front, a cover, a prop, a set piece. The inventory is old. The vibes are dusty. The whole operation just looks like a laundering storefront pretending to be a fashion brand. That's what it looks like anyway. Allegedly. Hypothetically. Don't sue me. But what would be interesting, and what we're absolutely going to watch, is WHY. She came to Georgia. Like, what was the actual reason? That's the real tea. That's the part nobody's talking about yet. Because think about it. This woman loved Illinois. She lived her whole life there. Born there, raised there, breathed that Illinois air every day. She spent years telling everyone how dedicated she was to Dalton, how she was for the people, how she was married to the village. Then the second, the actual second, things don't go her way. She's packing a U-Haul and driving straight to Georgia. That's weird, right? That's suspicious, right? It's very precocious. That's the word, precocious. Because nothing about that move seems casual. Nothing seems like, oh, I just wanted a fresh start. No, baby. Something made her run, flee, dip, relocate with urgency. And the funniest, saddest, truest thing about Tiffany is this. She seems determined to go to prison, like it's her destiny. She had a whole list of things she did back in Illinois that people could have prosecuted her for, but everyone was just so thrilled she left that they basically said,
"Oh, girl, go."
Just go, we're not even going to bother. Bye. She could have taken that blessing and disappeared quietly. Changed her life. Lived peacefully. But Tiffany?
Oh no.
Tiffany is stubborn. Tiffany is committed. Tiffany is dedicated to continuing the chaos until she eventually hits a wall at full speed. It's like she looked at the justice system and said, "Oh, y'all not coming for me yet." Bet. Watch this. So yes, I'll be watching too. Closely. Because if this Georgia move has layers, those layers are going to peel themselves back in real time. And I have a feeling this little boutique stunt is connected to things that went down in Illinois. Not maybe, certainly. If you're in Atlanta, especially anywhere near College Park, pull up. Go see the store for yourself. Try to buy something. Try to see if anything even has a price tag. Try to see if there's a working cash register. Try to see if the scanner even scans. Report back. Because I swear this whole store looks like a stage prop from a low-budget reality show. Tiffany girl, do better please. Y'all behave because I'm not going to. My mama loves you. Yes, she does. Peace. She does. Peace.